from Rock, 1993, read by Mike Ciriaco.
The day Rock Hudson died, I got my cherry popped in the Greyhound bathroom of the bus station on Vine Street near Sunset Boulevard. This guy, who looked like he could have been a movie star himself, he insisted on putting on not one, but 2 rubbers. I'll never forget that. My mama was already on the bus, which was going to head back to Little Rock. I realized I had to take a shit. And the bus driver told me I had exactly 5 minutes, which would have been more than enough time to take a dump if I hadn't met Frank. Well, actually, I didn't meet Frank till another year later, if I hadn't gotten fucked by Frank. So I'm sitting on the toilet, wiping myself, with 2.5 minutes to spare, when this big, handsome man just burst into that tiny little crapper. The first thing he did was touch my hair, just kind of ran his fingers through my hair. That's the first time I had ever been touched by a man. Ever. I thought I was gonna cry. I didn't know what hit me. Then he kissed my forehead. I remember the feeling of his beard. He had this stubble scratching my cheek. I stood up and he started stroking my ass, just rubbing his hands up and down my backside. I don't remember if he turned me around or if I just volunteered, but the next thing I knew, he was putting on not 1, but 2 rubbers on that big, hard dick. My cock was as hard as it's ever been in my entire life. Rock hard. Just as he began to stick it in, he had put some sticky stuff on it. This guy was prepared. I could hear my mama scream, "Rock! The bus is about to leave! Rock! Are you in there? Rock!" And I could hear the engine outside the window of the John revving up. He started squeezing my nipples. And he's inside me, starting to slide in and out. "Rock, do I need to come in there and get you?" She's pounding on the doors. He's pounding against my body. And I realized for the first time in my life, I'm not going to let that crazy bitch ruin my happiness. Not this time. And the bus driver's honking on the horn, and she goes, "That's it! I'm gonna leave you, you little prick." My prick was anything but little. And he started kissing my ear. "I'm gonna give it to you, Rocky," he whispered. Oh, I swear it was so hot in my butt. The smell of burnt rubber mixed with the piss and shit smells of the bathroom. And the smell of his breath on my neck and in my ears. And the noisy sound of the bus pulling away drowns out the sound of him grunting as he comes inside me, and I, no longer a virgin, shoot all over the bathroom wall. That was October 2nd, 1985. That day changed my life. First of all, I came out of the closet. After 26 years of trying to be straight, trying to please that raving bitch. It's also the day I changed my name to Rocky. That's what Frank called me. "I'm going to give it to you, Rocky." My mother was obsessed with Rock Hudson. That's where I got my name originally. She was obsessed with Rock Hudson the way that other women were obsessed with Elvis. We had pictures of Rock Hudson on every square inch of the trailer I grew up in. Movie magazines, and articles, and autographed pictures. My mama kept time by events in Rock Hudson's life. She married my father the year he did Giant. I was born the year he did Pillow Talk. My father disappeared the year he did Love Come Back. She changed her name to Doris and dyed her hair blonde the year he did Send Me No Flowers. That was the third movie he did with Doris Day. I was about 5. She insisted I call her Doris. Not Mom, not Mommy, Doris. So I had Doris as a mother and disappeared as a father. Every aspect of our life revolved around Rock Hudson. You're gonna grow up to be just like Rock Hudson, she'd always say. Of course, I was a little sissy, so she would make me watch McMillan and Wife and then imitate him. Imagine that, a 13-year-old boy having to walk and talk like Rock Hudson. She'd spend hours having me lower my voice, swag across the room. The minute she turned her back, I put on her Doris Day albums and lip synced to Que Sera Sera. When I was a little girl, I asked my mother, what should I be? I grew up in this tiny little trailer park, and except for when I was at school, she wouldn't let me out of her sight. Then I graduated and got a job at the local post office, and that's when she got crazier. Somebody told her that Rock Hudson was a queer. She went insane. Tried to convince me that Rock Hudson was my father. I began to wonder, maybe he was my father, or queer, or both. I mean, maybe that's why I was a queer. I knew seeing him and all those men on TV used to give me a boner. I'd hide in the John, beating off, thinking about all those men in my butt. But all I ever did was think about it. Till that day in the Hollywood Greyhound bus station.